So this is my Teams for Education demo environment. So this is not a real environment, and it's a demo tenant. And here I have 5 teams set up for these 5 environments that I just mentioned. So students, and this is the classroom. Then we have a parents team to engage the parents associated to that particular classroom. Then I have a teachers team where all the teachers for the classroom also collaborate. I have a club team, and this relates to the chess club, the math club, astronomy club, whatever clubs you have in your school, and also a sports team that in this case, it's a swimming sports team, but it could be supporting any type of sports as you have in your school. So let me start with the classroom. And this is no more than what you have seen from Ovi's presentation as a basis. So this is also based on the classroom type of team. So you see here that I also have the class notebook. I also have assignments and grades, but we have a couple different channels that are set up here to provide some additional information. And these areas here, they have been set up with some fine-tuning products to be able to display some rich information to your class and to your students. Let me start by showing the Learning Apps section, where teachers can share with the students additional assets and additional informations where they can grab more learning tools for their daily work. And all of these areas are customizable by the teachers. So in this case, I have different apps where students can get information from. And note that the classroom team, when we're talking about lower grades, like probably until the 4th grade, you can have one team for the entire class. But when we're talking about grades beyond the 5th grade, probably you will have separate teams per subject. So you would have a math team, you would have a science team, you would have a history team, and so on. And basically, each teacher for the subject would control the type of information that they share in these areas. We also set up an area for teachers to share external websites, and this can easily be set up as a list of quick links to external assets that the teacher wants to provide to their students. And we also have a video section, and in this case of this video section, this is just not one single video. So this is a slider of videos that can be set up to provide multiple videos at the same time. And not only videos that lie in YouTube, but in many different video sources. So either you have them on YouTube, on Vimeo, or other providers, you can provide those videos to your students inside a scenario like this. Then we have the classroom. So basically the classroom is where we want the social interactions to occur, regardless of the students being in person or completely remote. And in a situation where kids are remote, there is this need for social interaction to show the other colleagues what's happening in their houses, how they're doing, for example, remote learning. And this is a place where kids can share more about their day-to-day life and promote more social interactions. If the class has a social media page, it can also be shared within Microsoft Teams. So in this case, we're showing a Facebook page, but this could be something like an Instagram page or a LinkedIn page, for example. There is an area where all the students can be displayed. And here, so this is just a demo tenant. I don't have the photos, but depending on your internal school policies, you could be displaying all the photos for the students or not. Same goes for the teachers, having a list of all the teachers in the class. And basically it's a list like the previous one, and also an area that we think it's interesting for in case you have some activities going on and you need to know what the weather is going to look like in the area. There is a section for you to set up the weather for your local area. And all these assets are supposed to provide more engagement, more tools, not only to the teacher, but also to the students beyond what comes out of the box in Microsoft Teams. Then an area, and me as a parent, I can tell you that since everyone has been working remote, I feel that there has been some disconnection with the school. And with this parents team, what we want to do is provide parents also a communication tool, not only with the school, with the teachers, but amongst themselves. And we have set up different tabs in this team. So there is a section for a video to be provided to the parents. And this can be either a message from the school, a message from the director of the school, from a particular teacher. So it can be a positive message, but there are also different sections. For example, a contacts area, which we believe right now it's super important because many times parents don't really know who to reach in a situation like this, where we are either remote or on a hybrid mode. So many times we don't know who to reach to. If there is an email we can get in touch with, a phone number we can call. So this is an area for you to set up with all the contact information for your school. There is also an area for parents where all the planned activities can be displayed for parents. And note that this is different from Microsoft Teams calendar because these calendars, they are able to display events that are located in different internal calendars in Office 365. So this can be displaying events that lie on the class calendar, others that are embedded within a school calendar. For example, the national exams for a particular year or grade, they can also be being pulled from a different calendar, and other type of activities can also be displayed from different calendars. So the way you set up these calendars allow parents to access information that comes from different locations. We also set up an area for alerts. And this is super important because many times it is very useful to have very direct information about something that is important and that parents have to see. And although you can put some alerts within the chat feed, when people start talking and chatting, many times those announcements, they get kind of lost in the feed. So it's important to have a place where parents can go and check if there are important things they have to be aware of. And we also set up another area, and this is also interesting in scenarios where we are already in person back in school, where teachers can share, for example, flyers or posters to activities that will happen within the school. There is also a teachers team, and I'll just go briefly through this one. And the teachers team has also an area to display the students within the class, teachers, and a calendar that is shared amongst the teachers. So it's a different type of calendar. And this particular type of team, it can be and it should be adjusted to your school's teaching methodologies. And basically, for example, within this area where we are focusing on the class materials or the class evaluation and grades, this area where we access file information, it's also different from what you have within files. Within Microsoft Teams, when you access files, you are accessing one single location of files, but we have realized that many times it is important to we have to be able to provide access to files that are located in different accounts. in different areas inside Office 365. And for example, we can have situations where teachers, when providing and working, collaborating for the same class, they need to be able to provide access, for example, the math teacher to some documents of his own, the history teachers to some documents that are lying within its Office 365 area. So something like our documents application allows you to, with a more powerful query method, grab documents that lie in different locations and provide access to all the teachers within the same classroom to documents that come from different places. Then let me quickly jump to the club team. And I know that we are on top of the hour, so I'll try to be brief. Club teams are meant to support the activity of clubs, and this is an example of a chess club. And a team like this can help you not only in remote learning or in a remote scenario, but also when we are all back in school, because we know that most of the times these clubs don't really have digital collaboration tools that allows them to go a little bit beyond what happens in the school. So an area like this can provide, for example, the latest news. It can provide everyone access to who are the members in the club, and this can be updated ongoing because all this information is coming from the Azure AD. It can have informational data regarding the activity itself. So if we're talking about chess, we can be sharing, for example, top moments with amazing games that happened in the past and share those videos, or we can have a section with useful links for people that are starting to play chess or to interesting different puzzles or the history of chess and so on. And even inside teams, we are able to provide sections, for example, like this one, where we have sort of FAQ style area where new members can grab information about different topics. And we can also share information regarding the competitions for the club. And here we have the possibility, for example, to provide photos from the latest competitions, and this can also be organized in folders. We can have a calendar to display the upcoming events and activities, and for example, a section for the club organizers to share the latest awards that have been won. And lastly, the sports team that can support the activities of all your sports teams within your school. Here we can provide access to different types of information. For example, namely regarding competitions, regarding practices, and also regarding the team. And in this case, regarding the competitions, we set this up to provide the schedule for the upcoming competitions, access to documents on all the statistics for the competitions the team has been participating on, an area for the organizers to be able to share photos from the last competitions. And this can be also organized, for example, by year or by different types of tournaments. So there's a lot of flexibility here to provide access to different types of information. For the practices, you can also share kind of the structure of your practice groups so that kids know which groups they participate in. There's also the ability to share very rich map information inside teams. Let's say that you have different locations where the practices occur and you want to share that information. It's also easy to put it in a team like this. Or, for example, also share information like what is the schedule for practices so that everyone is on the same page all the time. And basically, all these teams are kind of available for you today for deployment as templates from Microsoft Teams. And basically, each template is no more than one pre-packaged team with all the channels, all the tabs, all the content as demoed in this session. Templates automatically deploy to teams, allowing for the easy creation of multiple teams at scale. And this is especially useful in the start of every new school year. So we understand that every new school year, you would have to go to Microsoft Teams and set up a new team for every single class. And most likely you have a very specific structure you would like to deploy. So standardizing these deployments and making them completely automated definitely sets up a lot of governance on top of Teams and makes it easier for your IT admins to be able to deploy these teams in a timely manner. So after deployment, all these teams can be adjusted to your school's very specific way to work. We know that each school is different from the other, so you can change settings, you can remove or add functionality. And finally, we do support the creation of custom templates. So if you would like to be able to create these custom scenarios and automatically deploy them to teams, we can help you. We can help you get started. And as Lily said in the beginning, we have a very extensive network of partners worldwide, over 100 partners that can also work in collaboration with us to help you get all these in practice. So let me just quickly show you how to get started in bind tuning to install these templates. So basically the only thing you have to do is go to bindtuning.com, click Get Started to get your bind tuning account. You will be taken to the bind tuning application. And basically here in the start option, you have all our templates available. In the case of K-12 scenarios, you only have to type K-12. It will filter by the templates that I just showed you today. So the classroom for students, for teachers, for parents, sports teams, and club teams. And basically by selecting one of these templates, it's as easy as clicking one-click install, and from here you only have to log into Office 365, name your team, and basically you're done to start installation. It's as simple as this. Let me just finally leave you with one link. So if you want to connect with us, if you would like to know more about our solutions for Microsoft Teams for Education, please do go to bindtuning.com/education. You will have their options to get in touch with us, and you will also have a direct link to all the templates that we showed you here today.